Good day, I'm Dr. Ebony Lambito Alisa de Vesa, and now we will be talking about abuses like rape, sexual exploitation, trafficking, and physical abuse, especially to women. I would look and read to you about the statistics from the Philippines Statistics Authority and the Philippine National Police and the Department of Social Welfare Development regarding these statistics. Okay, um, there are actually in 420 women victims of trafficking in 2019. That's 66% increase compared to 2018. This statistics is from Philippine Statistics Authority last February 2020. So that's a huge number of difference, and it's almost 100% increased. Okay, while in DSWD, data also showed, according to Philippine Statistics Office, that 222 women were sexually exploited in 2019. That's 55% increased, okay? Even though we have an increase or stricter rules with regards to crimes, this number didn't actually decrease, okay? In February 2020, there were 2,162 rape cases reported to the police in 2019. So that's 30% higher compared to 2018, which has a number of 1,656. So in the whole Philippines, that's the total number of rape cases. But those are actually reported. We don't know yet the total number of those who are not reported. And I will discuss to you later the common perpetrators, usually the age, and some important things that you should do if there is this kind of abuses. Okay, data obtained by the Philippine Statistics Office last February 2020 that there is 16,251 women who have physical injury cases reported in the Philippine National Police in 2019. So that's from 14,000 last year. I mean last 2018. Yeah, it actually that's an okay, that's disheartening actually. Okay, there is actually no decrease in number with those abuses, sexual, physical, exploitation, trafficking. So government data indicated that there was a 45% decline in the number of cases of attempted rape to 362 last year from 663 in 2018. Though there is a decrease in number of attempted rape, there is actually increase of rape cases. So, mm, so it's not actually a good sign or a good number of cases. Citing DSWD data, Philippine Statistics Office said there was a 5% increase in women who were involved in prostitution or emotionally abused. Okay, so usually those women who are prostitute, there are histories of them who are they have been raped, they have been sexually exploited. Some of them by their parents, and well, there are a lot of factors that can cause someone to have the decreased self-value and do this kind of activities, okay? So, women who experience illegal recruitment contracted 56% to 85 cases in 2019. So, while others cases such as battered, economically abused, neglected, or abandoned by husband. Okay. And according to Philippine Statistics Authority, sexual abuse cases are about 164. Okay, women affected by armed conflict 13 cases, physical abuse, maltreated, battered, 198 cases in 2019. Okay, that's actually a big number of cases. And usually, those cases of abuse, the abusers have mental illness. Okay, they have substance use disorders like doing drugs, okay, or taking illicit drugs, shabu, marijuana, or some have this mood disorder because of alcohol use disorder, or they have been cases of alcoholism for how many years, and they are not treated. So we have a lot of victims because of people who are suffering from mental illness, but they don't recognize it, and other family members also don't recognize it until there is actually violence, evidences of repeated violence, and self-harm or harming other people. And others also have committed crimes before they were treated. So it's not actually, we don't advise that they have to be treated because they already have committed crimes. I mean, prevention is better than cure, okay? As much as possible, if we can decrease those number of cases of abuses by treating those people who have mental illness due to substance use, like alcohol, marijuana, shabu, or due to mental disorders like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. Other mental disorders can actually cause crime. That's why some of them, some of the perpetrators, or some who are defendant in the cases usually ask for psychiatric evaluation and psychological tests in order for them to be have this decreased sentence from their crimes. During their mental illness, they have committed crimes. So it's really bad, or it's really sad to know that this is happening. And uh, we know the fact, but there are a lot of people who are not open for this kind of facts, that mental illness is actually increasing, not only in the Philippines, but all over the world. So, for with regards to those who are victims of abuse, it's really better to ask for help from the government, from the Philippine National Police. Okay, you go to the police station, you report the case. Like for example, if it's really good evidence, if after the abuse you go to the police and um, have a medical legal also examination in order for you to have those evidences, okay, for abuses like sexual abuse, like for example after the rape, you don't actually take a bath first, okay. Those evidence in you, okay, is a strong evidence, okay. So you have to go to the police and then report the case, and then have the medical legal um, examination, the VAUSI, from the VAUSI, Violence Against Women and Children desk, okay, ask help from the hospitals or doctors who can actually examine you physically, especially check specimens like semen or any evidence that they can see physically, okay? Bruises or any injuries, lacerations. It's better for them to see it. The moment you have been raped, or the moment you have been, or the day you have been raped, okay? So it's actually best not to take a bath first and be presentable during the medical legal examination, because it's better for you to be um, actually, the evidence must not be away, like the dress, anything, okay? So, it's better for you to directly go to the police station and the VAUSI desk. Okay. And usually, for the rape cases, you can file a case even within 20 years of 20 years, within 20 years after the rape, okay? So, actually, because usually don't know that it's actually a big evidence that you take take the victim and let that victim be assessed. And for those who doesn't know, if the victim is actually abused, usually you can observe that the victim have this hypervigilance, um, gamay lang nga lagapok or a sound, they startle or do hindi sila mapakali nga do pamasyagan nila, may everything nga hindi namin nga matabo, or if ever, usually others would feel uncomfortable in front of men, or even though close friend or male figure, they are not comfortable, and then they don't want to be touched, okay, even though you want to touch the shoulders, you want to touch the hands, they don't want it, they're not comfortable, and they shrek. You can see the un, the discomfort in their faces, in their facial expression. Um, in others, for example, they have this intrusion of thoughts or flashbacks that during your conversation, you have observed that the person is like physically and mentally not present. Like you're talking, and then that person is having blank stares, or you know, they're not in that place anymore, they're going somewhere. And then there are also cases that for those who have been abused during, or if they get married if they get married later on, they don't enjoy the intimacy because they remember the abuse. If they been intimate with their partner, they remember the abuse. That's why they stiffen up, or they don't respond well to their partners. Okay, so you cannot blame them because they have been through a lot. That's why if it can be prevented, it's better to be prevented, because if it already happened, the suffering of those victims will be lifetime. Okay, even though they're been in therapy, I know it will help. Okay, seeing a professional psychiatrist can help, but they still suffer, and there are times that they go back to their past. Even though they have moved on in their lives, there are still memories, fragmented memories, that still appears in their mind, in their memories. Okay, so we have to help them. We have to help them recover. We have to help them um, regain their self-value, their self-esteem. Because if they don't, if there are no good people who will help them, they can also be others can also be abusers someday, and they can be not a good example to their children. For example, if they develop some um, immature coping mechanisms, like vices or behaviors that is not good for other people, or mood disorders like bipolar. Others actually develop psychosis. Okay, they can hear voices, they can see things. You know, their self institution have been destroyed, and it's really difficult to have that self reinstitution. Okay, ego reinstitution. So okay, so I think that should be remembered. Um, they have to report it to the police, and then have medical legal examinations. If VAUSI desk report, and then file a case. Okay, if they hello, Sava. Okay, so if this video helped you, please subscribe and share this information. Thank you, and God bless.